Members, it is about time to make a start. We have formed the quorum. We are proceeding to the election of chairman and deputy chairman of the panel on constitutional affairs. The clerk has notified members that by the end of the deadline, we have received only one single valid nomination, and the nominee is Mr. Holden Chow, proposed by Mr. Chen Yong, seconded by Dr. Junius Ho. Mr. Chow has not been elected as chairman or deputy chairman of any panels, nor is he chairman or deputy chairman of a government advisory body. So in accordance with the House rule and the rules of procedure, I declare that Mr. Holden Chow elected as chairman of the Constitutional Affairs panel. Thank you very much. We move on now to the election of deputy chairman of the Constitutional Affairs panel. The clerk informed members that by the end of the deadline, we have received one single valid nomination, and that's Dr. Simon Lee, nominated by Mr. Martin Lau, seconded by Mr. Horace Cheung. Dr. Lee has not been elected as chairman or vice chairman of any panels, nor is he chairman or vice chairman of any government advisory body. In accordance with the House rule and the rules of procedure, I declare that Dr. Lee elected as deputy chairman of the Constitutional Affairs panel. Right, item number 2, schedule of meetings for the 2022 session. Please refer to the proposed meeting schedule for the 2022 session. During the last term, the regular meetings are usually scheduled for the third Monday each month, so subject to members' agreement, we will stick with this arrangement. And also to let members know that at the request of the administration, the Secretariat has reserved the meeting scheduled for the 10th of February 2022, 10:45 to 12:15 for the policy briefing by the administration on the policy address. So our next regular meeting will be scheduled for the 10th of February at 10:45 for this purpose. Also, the meeting schedule for the 18th of April falls on the Easter holiday, so this is going to be rescheduled to the 20th of April, a Wednesday, at 2:30 p.m. To 4:30 p.m. So this has been shown in the scheduled tabled before members. Subject to members' agreement, the Secretariat will be issuing notice to members regarding this schedule of meetings. If this is agreeable to members, let's move on to item 3, items for discussion at the next meeting. As we so agreed at the next meeting, scheduled for the 10th of February, a Thursday, between 10:45 a.m. and 12:15 p.m., we're going to have a briefing by the SCMA on the policy address. And please also note that on the 16th of February, we are going to have the motion of thanks debate at the council meeting. Should members have any particular matters to bring up regarding the future meetings, you're welcome to do so. And the clerk will be jogging down your proposals. Please press the button. There are 4 members: Horace Cheung, Regina Ip, Dick Ji Yuen, and Lee Chun Kang. Mr. Horace Cheung, please. Chairman, thank you. After overhauling the electoral system, we have had the electoral election. I'm sure that we've been through this experience, in particular the vote counting process. There are so many issues that have to be reviewed, and we should take stock of the situation. I'm wondering whether we can have an agenda item to review the adequacy or otherwise of the electoral election, to identify areas for improvement. Thank you. Thanks very much, Mr. Ho. Mr. Cheung. Mrs. Regina Ip. Chairman, in the course of the election, I've received many complaints that there is an absence of electoral or district councillors, and there are many black spots, many hygiene refuse problems, and they're left unattended. There are 2 councils, and they're running out of councillors. I think that the Secretary should come and let us know about the way forward and how they're going to deal with this issue. Next, Mr. Dick Ji Yuen. Chairman, thank you. My proposal is similar to that of other members. The many district councils are really paralyzed. We have seen the abolition of the mutual aid committees and MAC, and they are making a lot of contribution to district administration. So in terms of district administration, does the government have any new ideas? And I'm wondering whether we can put this on the agenda for some discussion. Mr. Lee Chun Kang. Chairman, thank you. During election, a lot of the members of the public and the electors talk to us about the problems with regard to the accountability system. There are diverse views, and many are questioning the meaningfulness of this accountability system. So in order to achieve effective governance, I'm sure that the government structure will be overhauled going forward. I'm wondering whether a KPI should be formulated for this. And also the 14th 5-year plan, how Hong Kong can be integrated into the GBA and all the rest of it. I'm wondering whether we can set up a committee for us to be briefed on the specific details regarding the latest situation in terms of the GBA vis-a-vis Hong Kong. Thank you. Mr. Chen Yong. Chairman, thank you. I go along with my fellow colleagues. I think the CAP should be concerned about the basic law. That's a matter of course. And the other thing is the electoral matters. We've seen 2 sets of elections after the overhaul of the electoral system, and there are areas that leave a lot to be desired, and they should be reviewed. Second, that we should discuss the relationship with the mainland or the CPG. Now, with the reopening of the border, we should have liaison with the mainland. Like Macau, I think we should have a better communication and exchanges with the mainland. We should put more focus on this. Mr. Tang Fei. Chairman, thank you. There are 2 things here. We have 40 members from the EC sector, and we're answerable to the 1,500 EC members. But in fact, we should be making contribution to Hong Kong as well as to the nation. So how can the 40 members of the EC can expand their accountability? Also, the many Hong Kong businessmen that are working in the mainland, and they have formed their own trade and business associations. They do have close liaison with the mainland authorities. Had it not been for this electoral overhaul, people wouldn't have known about their presence. And many of these people have become part of the election committee. I think we can unleash their potential, in particular, to enable the young people to understand the national affairs. I'm wondering whether the government can give them some sort of assistance for them to achieve this. Mr. Paul J., Chairman, after overhauling the electoral system, we have seen 2 sets of elections, and there are 3 holes in the Basic Law. Article 23 are going to be dealt with, and Article 45 is another matter, like the election of the chief executive. This is something that we should also have some discussion. Professor Sun.
那刚才邓飞议员已经提到了，就是关于内地赶上商。
Well, my question has been raised by other members. I think we have had a lot of discussion, and over the years, we should be telling a good Hong Kong story. Many people feel that they lack resources. The government has set up offices in the mainland, but I think the function should be improved. That we rely so much on the trade associations in the mainland. They've been putting up a lot of funding for Hong Kong. Shouldn't they be incorporated into the formal setup for them to be given more support? Mr. Kingsley Wong, Chairman. I'm also concerned about the implementation of the framework for the GBA. Now we have a commissioner for the GBA. I'm wondering how we can scrutinize the progress achieved in implementing the framework. And there are so many issues. And I think we should have an agenda item to discuss our integration into the GBA and also the implementation of the framework. Mr. Ambrose Lam, one of the Basic Law Hong Kong is going to be unchanged for 50 years. The SJ said that this is all going to go ahead without any change. We are very concerned about the common law and also the continuity of the common law. I think we should have some discussion in order to assuage Hong Kong people's concerns. Dr. Junius Ho. The EU has endorsed a motion reprimanding the Hong Kong officials and also a motion to sanction Hong Kong. I think we have to show some concerns. We are faced with these unfair external criticisms. We should come up with some measures. We do have a lot of officers based in overseas jurisdictions. I think we have to come up with swift responses to this. We have to put on our thinking cap as to how we can do it. Now we have the Ministry of Foreign Affairs office in Hong Kong. I think we can liaise with them to achieve a better synergistic effect and come up with a response in the shortest possible time. Thank you. All right, thank you all very much for a wide variety of views. And we will be communicating with the administration to see how we can line them up for some discussion. But some of the issues you brought up cut across various panels where necessary. I think we can have joint panel meetings to deal with all these issues. And I will follow up on this going forward. Any other business? I don't think we have any AOB item. Our meeting is now adjourned. Thank you all very much for coming. Thank you.